go in the darn slot? Upside down? I don't think so. No, no it ain't. What the fuck? There we go. Oh my. That increased. Okay. But today, it's gonna be a bit of a different type of stream. I am going to say things that I'm not too fond of, or that I am fond of when it comes to this game, in ways that I think that they could have either made it better or worse. I don't know about worse, just that they could have made it better. In my non-professional opinion. I'm gonna say professional opinion, but it's not. It's barely a professional opinion because I am not a professional at these things. But yeah. So first things first, I don't like where the story went at all. I think it was rather stupid of them to go to a completely new places. Like I'm fine with everywhere being new. I'm not fine with me not having access to Jupiter or Mars or Venus anymore, or the moon. How, all the places are just different for no apparent reason. Just okay, I could go here before, but now I can't. Why? I don't know. Or at least a reason. I guess there could potentially be one in lore purposes, but I haven't seen any or heard any blatantly. And, they're supposed to be better at lore, so I would expect to see or hear some blatantly. Then there's also just Gaul. I like Gaul. I like his personality and the things he does. What I don't like is that he's marshmallow. He does not look threatening at all. He literally just is a giant white blob for no apparent reason, and I don't understand why. He's the leader of the Red Legion, and he's in full white armor. The only thing that I find threatening about him at all is his face, and all the scars / the metal container that covers his mouth that allows him to speak and all. Oh, okay, cool, but the rest of him is terrible. It's not good. Why not give him in Destiny 1 there was a shader called God of War where you were literally just all red. Why not give him that? Or just make him the one guy that he's always talking to that's calling him Dominus, his leader dude. Make him like him. Make him talk. We will survive together, and we will. And I don't like the fact that he's not threatening at all, and that he's just there. And how he is the end of the storyline. I find that beyond stupid. He should either be the raid or be future content afterwards. And the fact that we're in the tower right now when we lost the tower at the very beginning. I don't like that. Yeah, first thing I would have, different direction I would have taken it in is to go more of, okay, they attack, the Cabal attack, everything stays the same, we lose the tower, but instead of us beating Gaul at the very end of the storyline and getting back the tower and being in the area I'm right now, we stayed on the farm, and they just either killed the speaker or the speaker wasn't captured by them. One of those. Or I would do, and I don't know, not an or, and there you go. Like, the speaker wouldn't be captured, and he wouldn't be after getting the light. Like, I feel like that would just be better. If he wasn't just like, oh yes, let's capture the light and capture all that hoopla, and instead he was more I'm paying too much attention to what I'm doing right now.
I suppose we can humor the consensus for the moment.
Okay. But and instead of him wanting to do the light, he wants to destroy the Traveler. He is a cabal. Their main purpose is destroying things and conquering worlds. They are literally just a military force. And I can understand him wanting the light to get stronger, but I want to be like, what is the darkness? And I understand that they kind of retconned the darkness, but I wouldn't have retconned something that's so major to the story. Now, yes, I understand that the darkness only appeared once in Destiny 1, but I would have made it something bigger and he's trying to prove himself to the darkness or something like that. And the darkness will be like the same thing it was before. It'll just be a giant blob. That is exactly that. Just like a giant blob of darkness that wants to take over everything. And he's trying to prove himself to the darkness, so he attaches the giant weird double triangle diamond, that's the word I'm looking for, diamond thing, attaches to the to the Traveler, and then that will be like a rocket, and it'll start shooting it slowly up into space. And then once it gets high enough, it'll destruct, and it'll blow up, not the entire Traveler, because that would be stupid, blow up like a good part of the Traveler. Or just like the first layer of the Traveler, because like now the Traveler is already like half blown up from ending the story, so you know we might as well just like put it at the point where it is now, where like after the explosion the Traveler is at what it currently looks like now, where there's like shards of it everywhere, and that's how we regain our light. I find it so stupid. The way we got our light back was
Shut them down.
by simply walking over to an older shard of the Traveler and being like, hey, yeah, let's get this. Instead of actually... Oh my god. And instead of just doing something else. And I feel as if it would have been better to do that and then have us gain back our light from just...
I'd like to see them dig up more without equipment.
They'd break their claws and swear, I don't doubt.
What?
Well done.
And that every time we want to like level up or anything like that, our abilities, instead of doing those random missions, we need to find, and they won't be like on the map or anything, we have to find a Traveler shard, and they'll be like scattered throughout all the different planets from the explosion. Like, oh yeah, no, that would have been nice. That would have been smart. Oh no, let's not do that. Let's do this random other story. And and then after whatever the heck it is, it's destroyed, and he realizes that it's not completely destroyed. Gaul's new plan will be to use the Almighty, the thing he wants to destroy the sun. Great name, by the way. It just couldn't be named anything else. The Almighty. He wants to shoot it into the Traveler instead. That'll be like his new plan. But no. He wants to destroy the sun anyway, even though he's still in that area. But makes a lot of sense. And
And then after conquering it, he will do whatever the heck it's called. He'll blow up the rest of the Traveler, and then he'll kill off the rest of the Guardians. And then you escape, you find a single shard, just like on Earth when you're leaving, before you find Hawthorne. And then you get your ult back, and you'll have to fight the Cabal that are hunting you. And just, there you go. But yeah, I don't know why I said but. And then you'll find Hawthorne, and you'll get back the farm, and you'll start wanting to build up the farm and things like that. And then I would have had it be a bit different and had it so that the end of the storyline was you killing the guy that he calls Dominus, or the guy that calls him Dominus, the guy that like raised him and did all that jazz. And like you fight him on the Almighty while it's shooting at the Traveler. And yeah. And then Gaul gets angry, and there you go. That'll really be the end of that. Just Gaul gets angry. And then he'll be trying to kill you, and you won't have the tower back. I find the farm the most useless thing in the world right now, because why would I go to the farm besides to get the gun I'm currently holding from doing that quest line? Ever. Oh yeah, there isn't a reason, especially after you get the tower, because all the people that are on the farm decide, oh no, let's go back to the tower. Like maybe if there were like people that stayed there that like are actually really good, like maybe Dead Orbit or one of the factions went there, you know, maybe. But no, right now it's just stupid. And yeah, so and I would have kept the farm as our main base. And then while you kill the guy that calls him Dominus, whatever the heck his name is, Zavala and them will still be doing their raid on the city to take it back over. But instead of us succeeding, you'll travel over there after you kill the dude, but then you'll fight Gaul, but you won't win. And Zavala will sacrifice his life to save you, and he'll die, and the speaker will become the next person that you talk to for whenever you do Vanguard things instead. That would be so much better. Like, I believe me, I hate deaths. I don't like it when, like, people in storylines die. It always upsets me, being like, why? Like, why'd you have to kill these people? It was so good until you killed the person. Like, whenever I watch a show and then they kill off my favorite character and all that, and it's like, are you kidding me? But, you know, it's a necessary part. And so far, like, literally no one has died. Like, there needs to be at least some deaths. Like, even if you're not, like, a lot of shows will target that favorite character being like, haha, now everyone will be very upset, and because of that, they'll want to keep watching the show, and that honestly happens. But, yeah, you don't need to, like, target anyone, but just do something. Kill somebody. Now, don't do Cade, because you just made storyline on him. You made him the funny person and all. I wouldn't do the one girl, Ikora, because you just started advancing the storyline this game. But Zavala has been the same old the entire time. Like, yeah, you just started advancing storyline a little bit on him, but only a little bit. And, how the heck am I supposed to get over there? Oh. That's nice. But, yeah, you advance because of that. You'd kill off him. He would sacrifice his life while fighting Gaul. And Gaul would, like, have some of the power of the darkness for trying to blow up the thing. And because of that, he'd be stronger. And then Gaul would kill Zavala, and you guys would retreat. And then you'd be in wherever the heck it's called. You'd be at in the farm. And you do farm things. And yeah, I just don't like the fact that we got the tower back immediately. I find it a bit stupid, especially because what's it called? The tower tower is just so much better. But yeah. And that's generally how I would have went the story, and then I would have had like the raid. I still would have had the raid be like Emperor Callus, but then I would have had like bonus content of like you continuing to fight Gaul throughout like the entire game to most of the game, and then have like be like the third expansion or something like that, be another Cabal raid of you fighting, and then that's when you kill Gaul. Like, I'm happy they did whatever the heck it's called, a Cabal raid, because in Destiny 1 there wasn't one. Like, they didn't go in the Cabal, like, at all. It was just stupid. But, yeah. And then that would have made the farm useful. That would have it would have been a much better storyline. Like, for a game that tried to improve its storyline, I prefer Destiny 1 storyline. Yes, the non-existent. Because at least in then it was just like, okay, we tell you a little bit about something and it's bad. In this storyline, it's like, okay, it's really in depth, but it's not a good storyline at all. Like, I would rather have a bad storyline that isn't in depth at all, or a good storyline that isn't in depth at all, than a bad storyline that's very in depth. It's like making a campaign-only game that everyone hates. But this has the multiplayer aspects and all, so at least that's the redeeming factor, but it's just bad. And it could be so much better. Like, for people that made Halo, you really messed up on Destiny. But so that's just the general story of what I would have changed. Then, like, there's a bit of lore that I would have changed, such as the Fallen. Oh my god, I hate the fact that there's only one group of Fallen now. I hate the fact that I can't go on Venus and Mars and all them, which I already mentioned this a little bit. But I think that we still should have been able to go to all these planets, and Titan, and Nessus, and all these other places. Now, yeah, that would have been like a lot of area to explore, but at the same time, that's a lot of area to explore. Like, there's nothing bad about area to explore. Like, yeah, it's harder to program, but okay, you're supposed to be making enjoyable content. Program it well. And,
And so yeah, I would have been able. Now, the only place that I'd say that we shouldn't be able to go to is the moon, and that's just because the moon was really just like a giant pit. It was like nothing but hive, and I guess there was some fallen on like the surface, the group of Exodus, but you know they weren't really, they didn't do all that much. Yeah, so I was fine with them with like if the moon wasn't around, but like I want to go back to Venus. I want to go back to Mars. I want to go back to this ring. Not the ring of Saturn either, because that was also whatever that was the Juggernaut, and I'm fine with. Or I forget the name of it. The Dreadnought. That was the Dreadnought, the Saturn's ring, and all that. But like I want to go back to Jupiter, Venus, and Mars. Like those were entire planets that are now just out of the solar system. Apparently, I can't go to them anymore for no apparent reason. And I think that is wrong, and I think they should be brought back. And maybe even, like, explore to other planets. But, yeah. And, like, I would have, as I said before, I would have kept all the places you went to now, but I would have just added these places too. Now, and yeah. And that's just general, a little bit of story kind of changes. Like, it's not an insane change, but it's not a small change either. It's kind of insane, honestly, but it's not insane to do, is what I'm trying to say.
Like, it's just be a lot more work, but it would come out so much better, like, on the end draft. Like, having so much content. Like, Destiny 1 original content, and even this Destiny 2 original content, like, when the game first comes out, is not long. And there's so little to it. It's not that it's in depth more than it was before, but it's not that good, as I was saying. And, like, that would have really added to it. That would have just made it bigger and better. I hate the fact that I can't go on to strikes unless I go in the strike playlist. Except for when you're unlocking that one strike for the storyline of the gun I currently have. But, like, okay. Nice. I get to go to one quest, or one strike. But, like, now I can't any other time? Oh, that's very stupid. Like, seriously, that's just beyond ridiculous. And... okay, now it comes... since I've already bashed the heck out of the story, I'll say something good, and then something bad about what I'm about to say good immediately after. I really like these, of what I'm currently in right now, the Lost Sectors. I think this was a very good change that they made. It makes the maps a lot better. Just everything about it is good. Okay, not everything. But, things I would have changed about it is, I would have made them harder. Like, I'm breezing through these. I died once in that one earlier because I killed one of these too close to me. Like, oh no, ow, okay. And I got the boss next to me when I didn't even realize it. So I died twice. In an area that I can respawn in. Like, one, maybe make it so that I can't respawn. Make it a no respawn zone. Okay? Instantly harder. Make it so that... make them more complex. Like, oh my goodness. I'm not 100% sure about this one. But, like, in the Vex area, where there, like, on Titan, in the places where Vex actually exist, I would have made it in those areas. Then, like, the laser thing that's in the Strike. Like, have parkour in them. Maybe in the Hive area, have, like, an area where if you fall to your death type deal. And, like, if you miss a jump, oh no, you're dead. Like, and at the very end, instead of just giving blue gear, maybe have a chance of giving, like, exotics or legendaries. And then maybe even do something that, like, this is a stretch. But maybe do something like making it a heroic lost sector. Like, if I destroy all those things that I just destroyed before I kill the final boss, bam, the lost sector becomes heroic. And it will become more difficult to do. That's something. Something. Something's better than nothing. And that makes it optional to get gold gear. Or not gold gear, exotic gear. Make it optional to get legendary gear because you're doing that. That makes it worth something. And then, like, maybe even respawning. Like, even after you destroy an area, it won't just come right back. It will come right back, but it won't come back right away. It'll take a while for, like, you to do something, and it'll be, like, either more difficult or just some sort of change will be done with it. Make, make 3 lost sectors of each lost sector, and then make them rotate after you beat them. Like, that would add a lot of gameplay. It would add things that you could do when you think you're out of stuff, and have, now you don't need to make, like, and then do, like, a unique, whatever the heck it's called, a unique heroic part of each one as well. Now, I wouldn't say you have to do that. Like, maybe just make one heroic thing for each one, and, just, like, no matter what version of the Lost Sector you're in, it'll still do the same thing of, it'll always go to the same exact, heroic version. Or, like, the same heroic boss will spawn. Like, that's something. That's a change. That's a good change. That would make it exciting to do them, or more exciting. Like, now I'm just doing them just because of I got really nothing else to do. Except for, like, the new content that just sort of came out. Or not exactly new content, but, like, the weekly events. But, like, yeah. And that would have been something interesting to do. Is okay, where the hell is this lost sector? But and that would have made all the lost sectors so much better. Like making the Vex area, as I was saying earlier, like the lasers, making the fallen lost sectors like those traps, like the little mines on the ground, or the other thing, like the laser traps that if you walk through the laser thing, then it explodes. Do one of those in the fallen ones. And as I was saying with Hive, make it 100%, not 100%, that'd be really stupid. Make it a lot more parkour. So that, like, you need to jump from platform to platform, and if you messed up on a platform, you're dead. And then, like, with those exploding pores, like, make each of those, give those a purpose. Like I don't really know currently if those are anything. I don't know why you need to kill them. I need to, like, look that up at some point. But, like, if you can turn these into heroic and everything I was saying, like, was already done, or at least part of what I was saying was already done, that'd be really cool. And, yeah, I should find that out. And then make, the Cabal ones. Just, I don't really know what you do with the Cabal ones. To be completely honest. Just make them more unique. Some sort of parkour or trap or something along those lines. Because that would make it more fun or exciting to do. And as I was saying, like, make it a legendary type thing. Just make it something else that makes it better. Or make it give legendary gear. And that would also give a much better reason to do these, because, like, I hate the fact that I'm getting blue gear from doing all these. Or, oh, and I know what you could do. You could, like, it would be like the walls. Like, a whole lot of different walls would be covered in, the other stuff. Like, not this, but, like the wall would be covered in the green things that you can shoot, like those. And you'd have to kill that to, cause it to, like, to continue. Or you'd have to, like, not kill specific ones because of, whatever reason. Because that would destroy a bridge. Why did that not fire? A lot of enemies in here. And things like that. Like, those would all be fun ideas. Ow. And, yeah, so basically, I would have killed Zavala and made the speaker take his place. Well, if I was, like, the director of it anyway. I would have, oh. I guess you can get a legendary engram from these. I guess that's good. Well, maybe it's only, like, your first one, because this is, like, my first one on Titan. It's not a part of story. That's potentially possible. Which, I guess, then that'd be kind of cool, but then you only have a reason to do one. And then I was also saying, or I was thinking of, that there's a reward for, like, completing, like, every single one in an area. Like, once you beat every single one, then, like, an exotic level one will spawn. Like, an heroic one will just, like, be on the area, and it'll, like, just appear. And it'll be in some, where you have to find it and all. Well, not exactly find it. You'll see it on the map, and you'll just have to find the entrance. And once you get in it, it's, like, strike level. Like, there will be mechanics involved. It'll be very difficult to do. It won't just be like, oh, walk in, kill the boss, walk out, or walk in and do what I say, which is like have parkour or other things involved, then walk out. It'll be like, this will take a good amount of my time to do. And it'll be hard to do. It won't just be like, walk in, kill, walk out. That's what I'm saying. And, then from completing it, you get like a special exotic that you can't get any other way except for completing it. One that'll help spread exotics like they want to do. In the wrong direction. And then it will also like make more unique things in the game, more things for you to do. Found it. And then, yeah, after completing all of them, as an exotic one spawns, you get an exotic from completing it, have this exotic be unique to, like, the area. Like, if it's in the EDZ, get a fallen-based weapon. Get, like, the one that the Vandals use, like the heat-seeking one. Like, yeah, that'd be a bit overpowered in PvP. But, like, make a pulse rifle that you need to hold in, like, a fusion rifle to charge, and it needs to be over top of the enemy to do it. And then when it's fully charged, the bullets will heat seek. Now it'll be like the Vandal ones where if you just run behind something, it will miss. But that'd be cool. Be a unique exotic. And then have like the one in the Fallen, like take that one Fallen weapon that was in the last game. Maybe not have it the exact same thing, but the one that shoots at an insane rate. I don't know the name of it. And have it so that that's the weapon that you get from completing all the ones in this area. And then for like the Cabal one, make it like the minigun. I would make it an like a exotic heavy weapon, and have it be like an actual minigun, like the ones that the Colossuses use. Or I'd make it like the Centurion rocket launcher, and also have that be the last, like a heavy weapon exotic. And I don't understand why I need to kill these. Like, all they do is explode. I don't get it. I need to look that up. But yeah, like, and then what's the last group? The Vex. Have it bring back like a version of the Vex Mythoclass, and yeah, something like that. Really isn't all that much areas around here, are there? Huh. Or it doesn't have to be the Vex Mythoclass. That's a bit of a stretch. That's in my opinion, a very overpowered weapon, sort of. And there you go. Like, that would be incredible.
I'd love to do that. So there's that, like with all Lost Sectors. Okay, now guided games. An easy solution to guided games. Now, instead of having a guided game, which I find stupid, have matchmaking. Now, like, I see the point of, like, oh, then what makes it different than the Vanguard Strike playlist? which I like the fact that the Vanguard Strike playlist exists, but as I previously stated, I wish that instead of there only being a Vanguard Strike playlist, I could just play the strikes. Is that you'd be doing the Nightfall, and that you wouldn't just be doing a random quest. Like, I hate the fact so much that, like, I can't just go in it and find a game, that I have to create a group beforehand or use a guided game. Like, I don't want to be guided, nor do I want to guide. I just can't I just be matched with random people? Like, I can understand that with the raid. I think guided games is good for raid, not for Nightfall. I think raid, go ahead, do it. But Nightfall, no. Just give me whatever the heck it's called. Give me people. Just give me a thing to look for. Whatever the heck. I don't know why I can't think of the word. Ow. Stuck on stupid rocks. A matchmaking. That would be so much better. It'd be so much easier. It would just make my life and the life of the people that play this game better. Now, a taken weapon, I wouldn't really know, like, for things like this that are, like, taken-oriented. But considering how there's not really another planet, and there's only... you wouldn't really be able to fully do one. I guess you kind of could, but, like... I don't know. You wouldn't really be able to make a set location for their... where their exotic lost sector would be, which would be the problem. But I guess, like, if you just do, there's like 1 or 2 lost sectors that have taken on each planet or something, or just have like 2 exotic ones on 1 planet, I guess, would be the only ways that I could, or not 2 exotic lost sectors on 1 planet, but like 1 be for the taken and 1 be for something else, like this planet it would probably be on. And I wouldn't really know what I'd make the taken one. I'd probably turn in some sort of like weird taken gun. That like shooting an enemy. No. Oh, good. And like shooting a. It'll shoot like some sort of tether that you could like take enemies. Now you'd obviously not be able to take them and turn them into your like allies or anything like that, but it would kill them. And it would look like the taken process, where it would like absorb them, type deal. That'd be kind of cool. And just like things like that would make it so much more unique. And I would have went so much further with the stinking lore. Like, I hate the fact that lore currently is just the way it is. I would have made it so much more in-depth. I hate that there's not multiple Fallen. Like, give me back the House of Devils. It was my favorite house, and now it doesn't exist anymore. Now, it was not my favorite house because it is the House of Devils. It was just my favorite house because red's my favorite color, and that's what their color was. And, whatever the heck, the fact of, yeah. Like, the things that they did. I like them. But no, they're gone now. For what reasoning? I don't know. And, like, the House of Exodus is gone, which they were on the moon, so I can kind of understand why they're gone, because I don't want to go back on the moon. I think it's okay, but I guess, like, if they're going with, like, what I was originally saying of just making all the areas you could go before, like, you could still go to, which I would be very good. I hate the fact that I can't go to them anymore. Then, like, yeah, I guess you could also go to the moon, but still. Like, I want to know what happened to all the old groups of everything. Like, before, there were multiple of every type of enemy. Like, there were Cabal that had skulls on their armor.
and those Cabal were part of like this certain group. And then there was like all the different houses for the Fallen, and even the Hive had like different versions. But no, that's gone now. For what reasoning? I don't know. Like, it's not in depth anymore, and that really annoys me. Like, kudos explaining it all, but it's not in depth. And, yeah, so overall, the story could have been a lot better. The lost sectors could have been a lot better, but are good. They are good, but they could have been better. The places you could have gone are... they're good, I guess, of the places you can go, but could have been not just, like, a lot better, but so much better. And I don't like the fact that they brought back, like, the Taken. Like, I can already see that they're just, like, doing it for, like, a raid future on, because they said, like, some guy could have already taken over, like, in Oryx's place, and he could have the Taken now. But, okay. Why are they here now, though? And, like, why are none of the other expansions here? Like, I understand Crota didn't really expand on anything, but, like, where'd Skolas go? Where'd the House of Winter go? You know, that house. Or not the House of Winter, that was the House of Wolves. Where'd they go? Oh, they're out of existence for what reasoning? Ah. But, so yeah. Just... like, look, I walked through this place. Like, what was the goal? What was the point? And, yeah. Those all could have been better. The strike playlist and all that, and strikes in general could have been better. I wish there were more of them. I don't understand why there's so few. Like, Destiny 1 had so many strikes when it first came out, and this... yeah. I wish they were a bit more mechanically challenging, but, like, I'm fine with how difficult they are now. I honestly wish these, whatever, the lost sectors were a bit more... like, had at least a little bit of mechanics, like, not a lot, but maybe a little bit, like, as I was saying before, like either the parkour or just, like, something in general. Like, just, like, when you're fighting the boss, you need to use, or when you're fighting, like, in a Taken area, you could do what there was in, like, the Oryx boss. You have to pick up this gem thing, and then you have to slam it into another area, and then you'll go into, like, a Taken dimension. Or, no, you'll just, like, pick up the gem, go into a Taken dimension, and then while in the Taken dimension, you can run over and hit the boss, causing him to, yeah, like, that'll really be it. Like, you can just... that only the guys that have the things can hit the boss. Like, that'd be pretty cool. Like, I understand that all of this, everything I'm saying, would just be more work for, like, the programmers. But, okay. Like, it's your job to program. And if you're, like, really not trying to make a good game, then, you know, it's... like, they do try to make a good game. I'm not saying that they don't have enough effort, or they don't have, whatever the heck it's called, enough drive, or they're not passionate enough. I'm not saying that, because I know that a lot of these people work a lot, but at the same time, I think, like, there's so many ways that you could just make it better. Now, yeah, you can make, like, basically anything better, but I just don't understand their thought process behind the direction that they did these things in. Like, the things that I think that I mentioned that, like, really are just too much are what I said earlier with, or like a moment ago with like having these be more mechanically challenging, like even having strikes be a little bit more mechanically challenging. Like, yeah, that is a bit much. It's a bit like, it's just like why put so much effort into something that people might not potentially do all that much. I can understand that aspect. So like, yeah, you really don't need to do it. But like making lost sectors, like making a reason to do them would be nice. Besides just the chance of getting one legendary. Of all of the ones that I've done, I've only gotten one legendary. Engram. And there you go. That's it. You have the possibility of getting a singular legendary engram so far. And like they're not difficult at all. You just run in and destroy them. Like, I guess you don't need to make like the bosses more mechanical or anything like that, but like add like the parkour, add the traps in the fallen areas. Just do something like that. Or in like in these areas in the Vex, make the lasers that can really hurt you. Like in the Strike. Yeah, like I think the story, as I was saying, it could have been better if it went in a different direction. That I think would, yeah, I think it would have just been a lot better than ours. I wish the farm was still useful, and we used the farm instead of the tower. Like, I wish we didn't get the tower at the very end of the story. I wish we didn't kill Gaul. I wish Gaul looked more threatening. Like, he looks so stupid, and he's so easy to kill. Like, the raid. Where you defeat Emperor Callus's robot. Spoiler to anyone who hasn't seen the raid, which I'm only bet like everyone has, but where you defeat his robot. Like his robot would have won a fight. Like Ghoul beat Callus, but yet why does his robot why is it so much stronger than Gaul? I don't know why I'm saying Ghoul. Yeah, I would have made Gaul, or Dominus, whatever the heck you want to call him, into a raid. I wouldn't have made him the end of the storyline. I would have just made his one friend the end of the storyline. Or his mentor, I think, is what he was to him. And, did I really do all the lost sectors in this area? Guess so. And, yeah. Trying to think of like other things. Really, it's just like it's the story, the lost sectors. The strikes are good, but I wish I could do them more. There should be a matchmaking for whatever the heck it's called, instead of there being guided games. The raid should have guided games though. That they did good. I don't know what else to say, really, when it comes to that. I think that they did good on a lot of other things. Oh, I wish that there were kinetic shields. Like, shields that only primary weapons could go through. Now, why I wish this? Honestly, I don't even know. I just think it would be cool to have a person with, like, kinetic shield instead of, like, nothing. Or, like, have that be a Nightfall thing. Where all enemies, if they do not have a shield on at all, have a kinetic shield. Like, yeah, I know that there's in Nightfalls in general, you can have there are enemies that just like get shields for no apparent reason, but make like literally every single enemy have a kinetic shield if they don't have a normal type of shield. Like that would be so much health that you'd have to chew through. Now, yeah, I understand it's kinetic, so you wouldn't take insane amounts to chew through it, but just still, like, every single enemy having one would be difficult. Or at least a tiny bit more difficult than what it is now. This is kind of cool. It's a giant Vex waterfall of brain juice. And I wish they didn't retcon the darkness. I read the one thing where they said that, like, at one point they didn't even know what the darkness was anymore. They were just kind of like, oh, it exists, which I can understand why, because honestly, like, it's like, if it's just a general source of enemies, but like, it's the same thing with the light. Like, it's just in everything, apparently, the speaker says, but you know. But yeah, that would have been... Ow. I think that they just, like, all you have to do is implement it. Like, make it what you had it at the very beginning of Destiny 1. Just have it be that, like, green sludge slime stuff that, like, can take over things, and there you go, and, like, make guys stronger. Have it, like, the darkness have some sort of actual big effect. I would have loved to have, like, a raid that has every single type of enemy in it. Like, maybe at the very end of Destiny 2. I would love it if, like, the darkness, if they didn't retcon it, or at least currently retcon it, they could bring it back, potentially. I think, anyway. If... I don't know where I was going with that. Like, and like, you have to fight 4 different bosses, and then there will be encounters too. Yeah, that's another thing. I wish they made raids bigger. Like, it's only like 4 encounters, or 5 encounters is what I think it is. Which, like, yeah, that's a decent size, honestly, but like, bigger. In most cases, bigger is better. Not all cases, but in most cases, bigger is better. And I think in raid content, bigger probably would have been better. Now, I'm not saying make it insanely more mechanical. Like, I think you guys are decent at that when it comes to raids. And even strikes, as I was saying, I would like it to be a little bit more, but like, it really isn't necessary. But, yeah. I would have liked to have more raid content, be like, instead of it being literally a singular boss. Like, I understand, like, a raid is more than just, oh, you fight this one boss and all, and you're done. But like, at the same time, can I have a little bit more to do, please? Yeah. I would have made, and now, like, at the very, have, like, all the different groups have, like, a giant war going on between them, and then, like, the darkness is the reason the war is happening, and then you go to, like, stop it because it's, like, interfering with other things. It's causing the Vanguard a lot of issues because they're also killing Guardians type deal, and you go in and you need to fight through all the different areas, and then, like, the very last fight has, like, 5 stages, 1 for each group of people, but not the Taken, because I could care less about the Taken. Well, I guess, yeah, the Taken could be in there too, but where was I going with that? And yeah, and like, you just, it travels from like boss to boss, and then it changes its forms into like other enemies, and then at the very end you just need to kill them. And like, then you just need to like shoot him in his darkness form. which will just be a giant black ball, basically. I'm not gonna lie, that spooked me a little bit. And yeah. And also, I wish there was like, there's random things that you can investigate in every single map. Now, I'm not entirely sure what they do, so I need to look that up too. But currently, as far as I am aware, they do nothing, and you can just investigate them and then move on with your day. Now, I don't think that's it. I'm not gonna lie. I do not think that you can... all you do is investigate them and then move on with your day. And I think there's something behind it. But I wish it was either, one, a little bit more clear what is behind it, and that... and that, like, it gave something big. Like, I don't really know if there, as I said, I don't know if there's anything behind it currently, but if it does do something and it gives you, I want to know what it gives you. Like, does it give you an actual exotic? Does it unlock a lost sector? Does it do nothing? All very good questions that I would like answered. And if so, I think it should be, like, part of a lore. Where, like, every time you, like, there's, like, 20 in every area, and each unique one that you scan, like, tells a bit of a story after you scan it. And, like, if you scan them in, and there's not, like, gonna be, like, an order that you have to scan them in, but, like, maybe they're, yeah, and then once you scan each individual one, then, like, the entire story comes together. Or I guess there could be technically an order that you scan them in, but you don't need to scan them in that order. Type deal. Just got 15. Okay, so maybe they'll just give you random shit. That'd be, and then, like, once you do the entire storyline, you get a legendary. Or you get an exotic. Like, that'd be... Like, that would be 2 exotics per planet. Basically. Because you get the one from doing every lost sector, and then you also get the one that from, whatever the heck it's called, from finding each unique thing. Now, if that is what it currently is, kudos to you. Kudos to, Bungie. Not kudos to whoever's listening to this, which is currently me, myself, and I. And hopefully someone in the future. But like this. Like, this is something I can investigate. What is it? I don't know. It's gonna tell me something like, oh, it's a crystal fragment.
See how the traveler crushes and breaks everything it touches. This is valuable evidence that we're not safe here.
What? Okay. See, that was kind of cool, actually. Now I'm happy. Like, is that what it does? Is it just lore? Like, I think there should be like you get something for doing it, but. I think if I, like, explore these areas, I'd probably find lost sectors. Really, dog? I just let you in here, and you want out immediately? Because there were, like, no lost sectors at all in here. Oh, wait, that was probably just from... That was... Yeah, it was a mission, killing those things. Complete public events on this. Powerful gear. But Like that's like going to the tower. I should be going to the farm, you know. And I wish that there were like I know how each person has like bounties. That like give. I like the coins. That's something I should add. I like the coin system that they did. That each area has like their own coins to level up the like what they are. I really like that. They did a good job there. But I wish that there were like progression missions, I guess I should say, that like not just affect, like give you story that actually affect the environment. Like getting the tower, getting the farm. Those are types of things right there. I wish that when you get the farm, like a lot of your first quests are, oh, you need to set up defenses. You need to do whatever the heck it's called. You need to get materials for turrets. And then, like, after you do this quest, that you'll see turrets around the farm. Maybe not surrounding literally the entire thing, but, like, just around the farm. Like, that would be cool. It would just be simply that. It would be cool. 271.
Supply dockets, inventories, bills of lading. I will be buried beneath all this paper.
I like what they did with the groups now. I'll give them that too. Like how they're, but I wish that you could level them up even not in the event, and then like not your level resets, but like the overall how much points they've gained resets, and like there's an actual bar each time. Like I wish I could still get things from them throughout the entire time. My friend told me I can't. If I'm wrong about that, then I'm wrong about that. It's just that simple. Which, if I am, then I'm sorry for misleading anyone. But, yeah. I like this. I'll give him that. I like how this is something. How, like, the bright engrams. And how that's how you get, like, a lot of mods and shaders and things like that. Oh. That's new. I don't know why I'm going to the Vanguard guy. And... yeah.
A transaction to make, Guardian?
The Cryptarp's still the same. I actually like how, like, legendary engrams are now just, like, in your inventory. Or, like, over here, up here. When before they were, like, actually in your weapon slots for what they were going to be. Now, you couldn't entirely tell. But... still. Like, you didn't know what type of gun it was going to be. I sort of like, not fully, but I sort of like what they did with, like, kinetic weapons and power weapons and how they're in, like, 2 different slots now. Like, how a hand cannon be here and here, and, like, how these are now the exact same things. But I wish that fusion rifles were also, like, in here. And not shotguns. Shotguns and snipers, I think, can stay in here. Same with rocket launchers and grenade launchers. But, like, I wish fusion rifles were in here. I wish they still had, like, machine guns. Like, I have not had one machine gun, so they could potentially, and I'm just very unlucky and haven't gotten one, but I as far as I know, there is not. You do not get any. Yeah, I wish there were still some of those, and I wish that one of them was, as I was saying before, like a minigun from the Colossus. That would be really cool. And I wish there was more content. Like that's just like the main story behind everything I'm saying is I wish there was more content. Because, like, I got nothing to do now, except for, like, the Nightfall, which, as I was saying, I have to do either a guided game or find a group, which I find stupid. I wish that it was just like a, whatever the heck it's called, whatever, why can I not think of this name? A playlist, or like the Strike playlist, where it has matchmaking. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh my goodness. Went on the stairs. Well, I got on the stairs afterward. But, where it was matchmaking. So I could just run in and do it. Now, yeah, I know it'd be kind of difficult, especially if I get, like, scrubs, or someone that has no idea what they're doing, but at the same time, I get people that have no idea what they're doing when just normal playing. Or, like, when normal finding people. This is cool. It's a nice view. It's a really big city. I guess it is like the last of humanity. But, yeah, I wish there was more with everything that they added. Like, they did a good job still, honestly. I think that they went more at, like, what everyone else has honestly been saying with, they went more towards, like, the individual player instead of the community. And I don't find anything wrong with that. I just wish that they did it in a different way. I wish that instead of they were targeting the individual player to then join the community, they make the individual players long-time players. Like, that they want to keep playing, they want to keep on going, they want to keep finding new places. Things like that. Like, that would be cool. But it's not like that. And as I said, like, this dude, I feel like, I'm sorry, but I feel like he should have died when we, like, invade the city. And the either Sloane, this girl, or Soraya Hawthorne. What am I thinking of Sloane? Who's Sloane? I don't know. But, oh no, Sloane's the other person at, like, Titan or something like that. Hawthorne, or the Speaker, instead of the Speaker dying, became the new Vanguard leader, and they're the ones that you talk to. And, yeah, that's just, like, the general things that I think would have been good about, like, if they changed it. I think those would have been better options and choices that they made. What else should I say, really? Just things that I've past said, I guess. I like the raid. I like the strikes. I think they're good raids and strikes. I wish that they, as I was saying, I wish that they actually, I don't want to say, I wish I could play them a bit easier and more. What else really should I say? I'm a bit distracted, sorry. So, the main point, story is good. Could be better. The tower shouldn't be around, and instead we should be in the farm. The one guy should be dead, and either the two other people should replace him. What else is there? There should be more exotics. Specific exotics, anyway. The secret areas could be better. I really like the public events. That's something very positive that I can say. I really like the public events and the things that the public events are doing. And how you can turn them into heroic events. That's really cool, and that's a great change that they made. Like before, the public events were just kind of annoying. I wish that there were more general materials that like actually changed how your guns did and your weapons. I wish it wasn't just like armor mods now. Like I wish I could do what it was before, where like to upgrade a gun you'd have to have other things. Yeah, you'd have to have like the materials for the area to upgrade it, or for a specific area. And yeah, I can understand why that'd be really tedious, especially because you'd have to grind. But like, if you're like, that would be so much easier if you gave it as a reward for doing public events, because everyone wants to do public events now, and doing lost sectors, as I was just saying, like giving, if you did the changes I did to the lost, or that I talked about to the lost sectors, that would have been good. Something I didn't get into all that much is these. These could be expanded. I wish that both of these were like this, where they, after you pick one, then it has like a line, and then this area has like 3 different things. I wish it branched off into this and had 3 options, just like a grenade, that you needed to pick one to do. And same with this. And it wasn't like pick this side or that side, like over here. I actually really like how it's pick this side or that side over here. But I wish that these branched off and like each one gave special things. Like this. Like this is just a shield. I wish it branched off, and then the first upgrade that you unlock, or from finding a traveler shard, like as I said, from the traveler, for me, it would be better to, if the traveler was blown up and all the shards were went everywhere, but not the traveler still was mostly intact, and instead of you just go to that giant traveler shard and then talk to that one over and over again as you fight Fallen, which I don't understand why Fallen don't have the power of the light if they've scavenged most of the shard. And but like after you unlock it through level and from finding a traveler shard, like one of the options is, oh, you can shoot through it, and I'm talking about the full one, like this one right here, the one that completely covers an area, not the one that has like the little dip in it. You can shoot through it, but it does greatly reduce damage. Now this would be kind of strong in PvP, but like it'd just be cool in PvE. Now, yeah, I think people would probably pick other things over it, but still. And I think that the other, like the next one over, like this one, it should give the buff that this one gives. Super shield dome. Like this gives a shield dome, but it's called like Ward of Dawn. Now in the last game, there was 2 upgrades that you could do to your shield, to your dome. You could give it like Ward of Dawn, or I forget whatever the heck was called. It was like something of light, Shield of Light, and then there was Weapons of Light. And I wish that behind it, it gave Shield of Light, like just some standing behind it, directly behind it, gave you that shield, so you could run out and hit people and then come back and get like a shield or something, like the way it worked before. And then like the last one would be customized depending on what class you are. Same with on this side. Now that one you'd probably want to pick like every time, so it would probably be a little overpowered, or not overpowered, but just like why make all the other 2? Just make the other 2 for like preference type deal. And like the last one, I think in this case it should turn into this. Like I don't think this should be your alt. I think it should turn into like this version, and it'll just be like a bubble that you can't shoot out of. It's just like a bubble to defend you in all directions. And then like, but that increases the cooldown of it type deal. It makes it, in like, let's say if it was 20 seconds, which I know it's more, but it turned it into 40. Now doubling it's a bit rough, especially since I know it's more, but like still, that'd be something. And then this changed to something else. I don't know what else you'd make it, but yeah. And if you were on the fire version, Then the full shield would give you, not quite sure. It would create a sunspot behind it that would increase all, not just, or it would make like a light spot or something like that behind it, where instead of just making your ult last longer and your abilities recharge faster, it makes all people's or something like that. I don't know about all people. Something like that. Like, these don't have to actually be the real things, obviously, because I don't think they are going to add this, nor would they ever probably hear this. But if for whatever reason they did, like, that would be nice. And on the Striker Titan, it would have Aftermath. It would behind your shield would be like a big lightning area that when enemies walk into, or if they like come up to melee you and they walk through the shield, it would zap them. It would be like after you use your ult type deal. And then it would have like the same thing here, but a little bit differently. From this, one of the upgrades would be you'd reload faster. Like, when you crouch behind these, you automatically reload. That shouldn't happen. I think that it should be an upgrade that you pick over here. And then the other upgrade that you could pick only for the Titans and all, you'd be able to get whatever the heck it's called, Weapons of Light from standing behind it. It would increase your damage. It'd be nice. And then the last one would, of course, depend on the person, where, like, at the Sentinel, it surrounds you. Instead of being, like, a giant bubble, like, the ceiling would be off of it, and it would just be one of these, but completely around you, so that it can still block damage, or, like, it has, like, a ceiling, but it has a gap between the ceiling and the bottom of it, so that you'd be able to shoot through the gap, and yeah, the enemies could too, but they wouldn't be able to, like, bombard you from the top or from behind. It would be a lot harder for them to do, and that would just be so cool. And then if you gave it to the fire person, or the fire version, I don't fully know. He's probably, like, the hardest one to do. But if you gave it to the lightning guy, then it would be something like it would charge... it would charge your abilities faster or something like that. Basically something like that. Now, I don't know the hunters, like, other ones, but I know the warlocks one is, like, a healing bubble or a damage increase bubble. And, like, for the damage increase one, like, the two upgrades that would be for all classes, like, the damage increase one would have, make it wider. Oh, no, that's the healing one. I'll go with healing one first, because it'll make it wider. And then the second one was, like, it'll be, like, the same size, but it'll just heal more or faster. Oh, no, it can do an overheal. That's what I originally had it at. Like, that even after, if you're at full health and you walk into it, it can heal for more. And it will build up as a shield. And then the one that's based off of actual class, like, if you're in your fire version, then it can, this will be a throwback to Destiny 1, it can resurrect people. If people die in it, it can heal, or do, like, whatever the heck it's called, it can bring them back, maybe not instantly, but, like, in the Nightfall or in the raids where you have time before you can heal someone, you can walk over to that, place that down, and then they can come up early or something like that. That might be a bit strong, especially in, like, a raid if you have, like, a permanent dead person being able to revive someone for, like, your base ability. That would probably be a bit strong, so you'd have to change that in some way, and maybe be like, only if they die in it, and, like, you can't walk over and place it on top of them, and it's only if they die, and, like, you can just walk over and place it on top of them for, like, any other thing besides raids and nightfalls. That would be nice. For the solar version, for the void version, it would just damage enemies that walk into it. Yeah. And then for the arc version, it would what's it called? It would give whatever the heck it's called. Like I know that in the arc there's already those little ball things that go on you that you can place that, like, when you shoot, they also shoot. Give it that. And change that from whatever one of these, like, I know they come from, like, the things over here. Like, change the one that's over there in the arc version of the Warlock. And then put that on that. So that when you just place it down naturally, it does it. Oh, but only on arc version. Then... for his, that's the healing one. That would be better suited for the attacking one. So yeah, that would be the attacking one for that. And the healing one would probably be just something where, probably similar to like the Void, where it just like does damage around you, or it'll increase movement speed. Something like, and like the time that your punch recharges, and the distance that you can travel with your punch, something like that. That'd be nice. Then the one that does damage is, the first upgrade will be it causes you to reload faster while inside of it. The second upgrade is, it just, oh wait, no, the first, it blatantly increases your damage, and then the first upgrade will, and you don't get all three, you have to pick one. I already said that, but just in case. The first one was you reload faster. The second one is that you aim faster and your fire rate increases a little bit, and like all the other stats basically besides reloading. Like your precision would be better, and your fire rate would be faster, and you can aim faster. But yeah, you'd reload at the same speed. And then, like, the one specific, as I said, for arc version, it would give the arc shooty things that would shoot the enemies after you shoot. Void version, I'm not entirely sure what it would do. Maybe, this is on attack. So maybe it would recharge your grenades faster. Something like that. Oh, I remember what I was going to do with it.
Just gonna take a minute here.
But then we wouldn't have the... Okay, well, I'm also going to be changing the arc one, so I guess I'll just throw that back onto, like, the healing one. There's, like, even your healing, and you also get the little arc laser. As I said, this wouldn't be in the game, but it's just, like, something they could do. And, for whatever type of element you are in that damage area, the element of the gun that you're using, if it matches, it does more damage. Like in the Nightfall, when it's solar burn, all solar damage, like gives solar burn to standing in the area if it's the damage one. Like that would be incredible. If it's arc, then do arc. If it's void, then do void. Now I know that the hunter, I know one of them is like just turning invisible, which used to be an ability that an exotic could do. But I don't really know any of the others of the hunter. But for them, they could just be like turn invisible, increase the duration of the invisibility type deal, and then like the other one could be you move faster while invisible. And then the one based off of element could be like if you're on arc, enemies take damage around you while you're invisible. If you're on void, then you gain a shield. And if you're on solar, then the first shot after turning invisible, like once you reveal yourself, does bonus damage. Or like the magazine or something, or just the first shot, I don't really know. That would be really effective in PvP. Like you just go invisible, pull out your sniper, headshot somebody, just dead. Or not even headshot, just like body shot somebody, just dead, because it does increase damage from being invisible in solar form. And I don't really know what the other one is. I don't know. I just know one is that invisibility. I don't know what the other one is, so I can't really tell you. But, like, all of those would be nice. Any of those would be nice. And I wish that they did further more on those, because otherwise, I don't find a purpose in doing it. I don't find it any fun to just use these randomly. Like, I could care less. Like this is already damaged from the last thing. Just have it more damaged, and not be and have it be here, but you can't hover over it, and have you not be in control of the tower on Earth, and then you need to go here, and like this would be here, and then like the traveler would just be like over here or something. Just like it would just be like, make it up here, make it towards the sun, because they were trying to get it away from Earth. And make me be able to go to Mars, and I think this... Oh, that's Saturn. Well, not Saturn. I know technically I can go to Saturn because of this, but, like... And then make me be able to go to, like... Venus, I think, was in this corner, and, like, Jupiter was over here, but just, like, put Jupiter somewhere. It's like, I wish I could go to the places I could before. It upsets me that I can't. I like the raid is, like, its own location, though. That's a good... That was good. Good job. Did something right. Did a lot right, honestly. But that particular. So that's all of like the things that I would change if I was the game devs, but I'm not. So, you know, I can't do anything about it. I find that the game is still fun. I still enjoy playing it, but I wish there was so much more. I think they could have done so much more. I'm not saying it's a form of them being lazy or anything like that. I would never say anything of the sort, because I know that they care a lot, and that they're actually putting like a lot of work into this game, and that a lot of work did go into the game. But still, like, it would have just been nice to be able to do all this more stuff, to get these exotics, to get this lore. To be able to do things. Or not just to be able to do things, to be able to do more than what I can currently do. I'm not saying there isn't a lot, because there honestly there is. There's a good amount. If I really wanted to, I could go do like all the bounties that those guys have, like in the EDZ and in each individual place. But nah. Yeah, I think that the game is good, but these are changes that I hope some way, shape, or form Bungie sees the stream. I know they won't, but if for whatever reason one of their guys is just scrolling through Twitch and Destiny section, and they find it, I wouldn't mind being contacted and asked why I came up with these things. But yeah, this is just a friend, by the way. But like, all of these things would have been cool, and I wish they did them. Now, I was saying I don't really like expect them to be doing them or anything, but if they would have done them, I would have been happy. If for whatever reason they do actually do them, and and they actually do them in like the same way that I was saying to do them, I will be amazed, and yeah, and yeah. So all I really have to say is I will be. Oh, okay, that's I'm in the sector. Where'd he go? Oh, this is a thing. There he is. I find public events to be fine. As I was saying before, I think it was a really good change. Is there like one of these guys per area? That would be annoying. Ow, okay. Blew myself up. $271 light, really? What's the recommendation? It's pretty high. Surprise. But so yeah, those are my thoughts. Honestly, I don't have any more. I had a decent amount of thoughts, but not like a ton. I like the game. I'm gonna keep playing it for a while. I'll beat the raid eventually here. I'll stream it when I do it. But until then, like, these are ways that I wish that they improved it. That I think they could have improved it. That yeah. Now, if anyone somehow knows Bungie, I would not mind getting a call, getting an email, being like, hey, I know the Bungies, and I told them some of your ideas. They like it. You got any more? I cannot say I would mind. And I think it would be pretty cool. Now, am I expecting that to happen? No. Not at all. Do I wish it to happen? Yes. Yes, I do. Assuming they're just probably doing like public events for the whatever the heck it's called. The this, I think it's on Titan. No, it's on Nessus. I'm on Titan though. Oh, maybe for their I think they're in like a different group. I'm just gonna leave. But yeah, this will probably be the end of today's stream. It's not really a longer stream. It was only like 2 hours, I think. But these are all my thoughts. This is gonna be going like, I'm probably gonna make like a collection through Twitch of, I'm gonna call like educational videos, or what I wish these games were, what could have made them better, type deal. Now, obviously, other people can have any opinions, so if anyone watches this ever sees any flaws in what I have to say, or thinks that this would be better over what I said, except for like what I was talking about with the abilities for like with the shields and everything, because those were just like on the top of my head. And I wish there's advanced like grenades where they change depending on what one you pick. Yeah, those are my ideas. And goodbye.